word that comes into your mind? Go, 3 seconds.
Order.
Billy.
Passion.
Passion. Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know why they...
No, well, that's the first thing. That's cool, bro. Passion.
Yeah, passion.
You obviously said water just because you were drinking
Drinking
water.
water.
Thirsty, bro.
You did say your first thing that comes to your mind.
I just finished my sip.
So welcome, guys.
Nah, thanks, bro. It's nice to be back here again. Jeez, the
Dude,
change.
I think it's fine.
Oh, wait. Sure, thanks.
Yeah, you guys were here, I don't know, was it this year?
It was,
What was this year? Yeah, it's
bro,
been a long year.
time's flown, so I don't know if it was last year or this year.
What was this year? It was like beginning this year, I think.
Beginning of this year.
Yeah, it was
Billy,
this
you
year.
can see a red light on your camera, eh? Like above your head probably.
Above my head, what do you mean?
Like
above?
flashing on the screen.
Oh, on the actual screen itself, yeah, there is a
Red light.
dot.
That
yeah.
means we're recording for
A
you.
red dot.
That's cool. We all got red lights.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, that's the thing about age now. It's crazy, actually, how much busier your life gets the older you get.
Yeah.
But you essentially are as evolved as a child. Like, yeah, we can handle the stress more, but we as much children as we were when we were actually children.
Yeah.
I'm still full of shit, bro.
I'm still a child, bro.
I'm still full of shit.
I'm
Like,
still a
as,
child,
as
bro.
serious as I can be.
I feel like we're all just old children, bro, basically.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your most childish attribute?
My most childish attribute.
Be it in relationships, be it in work, be it in like anything.
I think I can just, the way I have a go at someone, like in terms of like let's say like your shoes are dirty, not like necessarily your shoes, but I'll be like, yes, it's dog, like what happened? You go hiking or something, you know what I mean? So I feel like the way I go at people is still like what you guys know. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm
He knows
looking at my shoes a little bit.
No, it's the first thing. No, I'm not saying you directly. I'm just saying that's the first thing that came to mind.
But with mates, it's different.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Like if you tuning your mates or whatever, different story. But are you talking about like in general? Like
In general,
someone comes into work, you got dirty shoes. You'd be like, bro, look at this guy. What's wrong with his shoes?
I would, to be honest, I wouldn't even think about it at work. I mean, it's not my homeboy. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, so it's only your friends.
It's only my mates, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the way I have a go at people is like people that I'm comfortable with.
Okay, so then it's not really childish because like razzing your mates is chilled.
Okay, yeah,
Like
fair
it's
enough.
not, it's childish. Like some of the stuff you say is silly,
Yeah.
like a childish comment, but it's still, you can have that at whatever age.
Yeah, fair enough. A childish attribute, that's actually hard to think about. You need to like properly think about yourself.
Like selfishness, let's say, or like personally, if I had to say selfishness, I would say, if I had to say something immature, it'd probably be selfishness as well. Where it's like, I want to go to gym, I want to eat a certain way, I want to do all these things. Like, don't come here and try to change my routine that I've built. So it's that selfishness of, but then what about all this, like, this life that I've built?
Yeah.
Now for a goal needs to change because obviously you need to adapt and you need to have that mutual agreement
True.
and the ability to kind of give and take within a relationship. So I would say that for me is maybe the childish thing where it's like, I don't want to share my toys, or I don't want to share my time, or I don't want to share my
I feel
energy.
you.
I'm
feel
very
you.
similar in that aspect.
I
Yeah,
feel
I'm
you.
very similar. If I
I
have a
think that
routine, but the thing is, I feel like your routine's value driven as well. So, like, for example, you would be going running. That's one of your values. You know, keeping healthy. So, should you change that about yourself, or should you
for
try?
someone, yeah.
Or should you try still keep that value system, but try work it in?
For me, I think at your core, you must always, I think you should always like more or less remain the same.
Yeah.
And then the external stuff can change. So, for example, with your values and stuff, I don't think that should change for anyone. Like in my opinion,
I agree.
I feel like whoever comes in your life will fit in and align with the values you have.
100%.
If that
It's
makes-
just
I
like
don't
what-
think you
yeah.
should be changing for someone else, because I think if you are changing for someone, you're with the wrong person.
I think it changes like now when you have a kid. When you have a kid, then I'm like, hey, 100%.
But you're
Yeah.
changing for the kid.
Then I'm like, hey, then I'm like, they don't understand.
Like that's like
But when
your
it's
2
early,
o'clock
when it's
nights.
like as early stages, and I'm like, you know what? At that point, if you guys are onto lining and you're trying to overcompensate in some way, it's not going
It's
to
not
work.
going to work.
But
in
at
the long run.
where do you draw the line essentially? Let's say with me, I want to go cycling on a Saturday morning. If I go for a 6-hour cycle, do I have to, now that I got a girlfriend that I will be coming back to or whatever, shorten the cycle, make it less long? Do I train less days so I can spend more time? Like on a Sunday, maybe I would, like, let's say I've trained 6 days a week. Do I say, actually, I can rest today, let me spend the day with her? Like, where do you draw the line? I think once you also start changing your values, then obviously you draw the line before having to change your values or change your beliefs or whatever.
I think I don't know if you have an answer. I've got an answer.
I think you go first. Yeah, you go first. You were right off the
Mr.
bat.
Harry, Mr. Harry Hofmeyer, Manya's dad. God bless his soul. Such a good dude, man. The big half.
Yeah, he's always gives good advice.
Dude, always, literally always. I remember years ago he said, when you are with someone, it's not about living a life together. It's about living your own life parallel with one another. So I feel like if you want to cycle for 6 hours, she can do something else for that 6 hours that you are doing. Like, she doesn't have to be at your side, you don't have to shorten your cycle, or you don't have to take that less day in the gym. You know what I mean? I just feel like if she's on her own path and she's happy, and you on your own path and you're happy, and you guys can come together and build a life together in unison and being parallel together, I think that for me, I think that's fine. I have to say for me because nowadays,
I think that's very good advice. I think that's brilliant advice. You just want someone that can be on their own as well. Because I mean, in a relationship, eventually you're gonna move in together. Imagine now you're with that person 24/7. You just want that. You want that separation. I know me personally, I need that time for my own thoughts. Because like, you know, if you follow like Chris Williamson and all these gents, they talk about that. And I believe in it. Like some of those uncomfortable conversations and where you want to go in life and your own growth. You need to be alone in your own thoughts. Yeah. You have someone in your ear 24/7 or in your space 24/7. It can be, for me at least, it's quite a lot.
Do you think you can lose yourself when you're with someone 24/7? Do you think that's when people lose a part of themselves 100%. And lose sight of who they are in that space?
Well, what's the quote? You give a man food, like sex daily, and
I was waiting for you.
Oh, is that the one?
I was like, when is he gonna say it?
Well, it's that
I know what
quote.
he's talking about.
It's that quote. It was something about like, if you want to help a man, or if you want to encourage a man to lose his drive or his passion in life, give him constant sex, constant food. Look after him, take care of his needs. And I think as men, you do need to have challenges and you have to have difficulty. You can't have a wife that's now essentially the same as your mom was.
100%.
You know, if you shouldn't have a lady that's looking after you 24/7.
Oh, no.
And, you know, you do need to sometimes cook. You do need to sometimes do certain things that you would have to do when you're by yourself. Just because you got a woman in your life, you're married, girlfriend, whatever, just because they're in your life, it doesn't mean that now, because let's say she is the person that wants to take care of you. She will try to take care of you, but there is also times where you need to be like, you know, I need to do this for myself to just keep that drive.
100%.
No, for sure. I think also in that aspect, I think it also comes with a balance. You must understand, I feel like when you're with the right person and the right woman, her nurturing side naturally comes out.
You know, there's a psychological study. They say like woman dates guys that are most like their dad, and then guys dates women most like their mom.
Yeah.
Would you say that's true for you guys personally?
100%. When I looked at myself and I looked at some stuff that's in your childhood, your upbringing. That's why a lot of guys go to therapy. Like you'll find you have certain feedback loops, like traumatic events that happened and stuff. It's like I noticed with like some people I know in my personal life, some friends, they'll date these, not you guys. I
think I know you're talking about that.
They'll date these girls that are very aloof, or like that you'll know that are like maybe, I don't know, dribbling.
Dribbling.
But they'll still stay with that person just because of the way their mother raised them. So they won't see the toxicness in it.
It could also be, I think it's also, oftentimes it's both. So one's a retaliation to the complete opposite of what their mom was. And then one is obviously similar. So I would say probably it's just tough because obviously there's certain traits that are similar, certain traits that aren't.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like there are certain qualities that are in my mom that I do actually.
That you want in a woman.
And need in another woman, that I know, okay, this is how I'm going to grow as a gent. This is how I'm going to thrive as a gent. I need this sort of thing by my side. Like, for example, I would want someone who has some sort of passion. You know, I don't want to come home and it's like, hey, honey, we had tashes at 3 with the other moms, and that's it. You know what I mean? I want to hear about your day. I want to know what happened at work. I want to know about like the painting you drew, or like it could be absolutely anything, but have something. You know what I mean? It can't just be, hey, babe, how was your day? And then that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What for you are traits that, you know, if are non-negotiables in a woman? Like those ones that you obviously mentioned now in terms of being similar to your mom.
So like hardworking, having your own passion. This is gonna
Put you on the spot there.
Yeah, actually,
Put you on the spot there.
You put me on the spot properly. Traits in a woman: caring, understanding, have some sort of understanding. Because for me, I know I'm the type of person that can just chat, just talk, and not actually think about the after effects. I'll just be honest and brutally honest. So I need someone that can understand that I am coming from a place of love. Understanding, geez, it's put me on the spot. Obviously the loving, the caring part.
Cooking?
I think independent as well. I think independent, someone that doesn't need me. If I had to leave her, she'd be fine on her own. I feel like I need someone like that. I think
she's not there waiting for you to get home from gym. Like, where's this guy?
You know, or calling me while I'm at gym. Like, oh, why are you taking so long? You know what I mean? So I feel like I need someone independent. I think us as only children as well.
Yeah.
Growing up on your own.
I want to hear Jesse's.
I want to hear your one actually. Because for us, I feel like
I'll understand his.
Yeah,
I
we like very similar. Because as an only child, you grew up on your own. You were playing on your own. You were
has
like,
disadvantages.
And that's probably the disadvantage. But at the same time, you were alone with your thoughts at the same time, and you know how to be alone with your thoughts at the same, and you're comfortable within yourself. But yeah, I think those qualities is what I need. What?
Oh, look at Jesse.
Yeah,
what qualities
do you want, bro?
I think
because you were engaged, so obviously at some point in time you thought this person was my. Let's keep it a buck. You know,
absolutely,
you thought this person was the person I want to spend the rest of my life with.
I don't want to talk about that relationship.
No. Yeah, you can't.
But I'll talk about
these non-negotiables.
Totally
separate. This will be the new Jesse's
I'm not saying any of these weren't in her.
No. This is what you were like.
It's a disclaimer that he's putting out.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Nah, there's no need, bro.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, bro, for me, my mom is always, no matter what I've wanted to do, or whatever stupid ambition or whatever thing, she always encouraged me, and she never ever put any like brakes on my goals or whatever, you know. So for me, I want a girl that encourages me to chase some pipe dream or some crazy scheme or something that I'm passionate about.
Like she'll be by your side.
She'll be by my side even if I
is.
fail, bro.
Yeah.
And it's also not
so
like stop working so much. Like that might not bring you happiness. Where I'm like, yo, it is. Just because everyone's happiness is different doesn't mean because for you working super hard isn't going to bring you happiness, but for me it does, you know. Like trying to build something that excites me is exciting for me. So I want a woman that will be like, okay, I know, you know, Jesse's trying to grow this podcast, let's say at 7:00. I haven't seen him all day. Now I'm annoyed that he's going to the studio. Instead, have a girl that's like, okay, great, you know, you've got this goal, go do it, that's awesome, I'll see you when you get home. So I think that's for me. So there's two, obviously that encouragement, but I think the ambition as well. You know, I don't want someone that, like, you don't have to have a dream of a Ferrari or like any of that stuff.
For sure,
But, you know, have a dream of bettering yourself in everything that you do. Have a dream of, if I'm a teacher, I want to be the best teacher. If I'm a sports coach, I want to be the best coach. If I'm, you know, running a marathon, I don't have to win the marathon. I just want to try and finish in a faster time than I did last time. Like, it's just like
beating yourself,
trying to better yourself every single time. And I think in a girl, that's paramount for me, is having a woman that really sets these goals and works towards them, and then also enjoys the process. I think that's the biggest thing. Sometimes if people set these massive goals, they're working towards them, and then they're constantly moaning about it or whatever. It's like, you chose these goals. You decided to do them.
I think a woman has to be happy before she can be with someone.
I mean, there's that cliche thing is,
yeah.
don't put your key to happiness in someone else's pockets.
100%.
You know, she should be, as much as we should be, happy within ourselves.
Yeah.
And then you can be happy, as you said, parallel to each other.
Exactly.
It's just so scary. Like, there's so many people I know in my personal life or in Joburg or South Africa,
In general,
or maybe everywhere, that like a lot of women aren't happy, or people aren't happy on their own. And then they get into relationships to fill that void, to fill that aloneness on a Friday night or Saturday night,
Yeah.
just to have someone in that space. And that's why I think a lot of people just stay in these
And these,
toxic or those type of relationships.
do you think more people are like just settling just simply because an opposite gender or whoever they're attracted to, because nowadays, LGBTQ. So do you think people are just settling just because like on a Friday and Saturday just want to have someone
I think
there?
so.
Yeah, I believe that it's, I mean, we constantly are in our own heads all the time.
Yeah.
But when there's no noise, when there's no one else, there was actually a meme the other day. It was when the game starts too long, and then you start to when the loading screen takes too long, and you start to contemplate your life and why you're so unhappy.
Yeah, dude.
And that's essentially like when you're alone, when there's no noise, like then you actually start to think, you start to get in your own head, and then you like have these feelings of anxiety because like you're so alone.
Yeah. I find like, like I've shared with you, also it's like walking alone or doing like, walking outside is like a good 30 minutes just with your thoughts.
Yeah.
It does so much for me.
That's so much. For me, to be honest, I like being in that space, bro.
Yeah.
I like diving deep into my head. And I feel like
Self-awareness.
so many people are actually, self-awareness, 100%. I feel like so many people are afraid to dive in that space because they don't know who they are, like in the first place. I feel like a lot of people just don't want to look at themselves and be self-aware because they're afraid of what they might just find.
Yeah, I think we live in a society where it's almost, this is what was expected of me, so I'm going to go that route. And then you go that route, and then it's like, okay, what next? Well, the standard was always to go to varsity, then get the job. Let me go to varsity, let me get the job. Then it's, find the girl, get married. Okay, cool, let's have kids.
Right.
Try make as much money as we can.
True,
This
yeah.
is
And
so
like,
true.
it's so
Like,
true. And it's sad that we live in a society where, I think there's also another quote is, what's normal for the honey bee or whatever is different to the to the bumblebee.
I love it. Just putting these quotes on.
But I said it wrong. But it's like what's normal to the fly is abnormal to the bee, or something like that. And we live in a society where it's like, why are you frowned upon because you prefer to not confine to certain, rules or regulations? Obviously, like laws, stick to them.
Yeah.
But like, if you don't want to go and live a 9 to 5 and you'd rather backpack through Africa and work at,
Dude, do it.
like, who cares? Do
Yeah,
it.
do it.
For me, it's like it's your posy, bro. That's your life. What?
Dude.
For me, a lot of people have an opinion about
I feel
other
like
people.
I feel like it's a South African thing, bro. 'Cause like when I was overseas recently, these people, like everyone you meet, you'd be like, "Hey,
you're
how long
in
are you here
Bali.
for?" And Australians or anyone, they'd be like, "I don't know." That was the answer. Like, I don't know. I might be a month. I might be a 2 months. I might be a 3 months. They're working remote jobs, but like as soon as I came back here, you must feel like the judgment for South Africa is like what you wear, what are you driving, this thing.
I feel like
that thing.
Joburg as well.
Yeah,
like
Joburg.
especially.
So I don't know if it's like a South African thing or if it's universal, but
I
I've
think
noticed.
in terms of economy wise, I think in South Africa,
have to.
you're going away. It's like, I have to get back to my job.
Yeah.
Whereas in Australia, there's an ability to still work for an Australian company remotely. Whereas South Africa, that's not as possible.
100%.
And then, you can save up quite a bit of money in Australia, go to Bali, have tons of cash.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
it.
in South Africa, you got like 15 times less money saved or whatever
Yeah.
equivalent. So I think maybe financially I've got 10 days in Bali. I can't extend that because I need to get back to work.
I guess it's the difference between a third world and
And the
a
first world, yeah.
first world country, I guess. I think.
Just the mentality though as well. I think like those people, even when you speak to them, just a different thinking. You see, like I feel like we're very much in a fixed box. It's like you work your job, that's it.
Yeah.
I can't understand the mentality.
Yeah.
Like some people's like, I work 9 to 5, that's my life. Like I don't know about you guys. Like I would want to start a business or do this, or I don't want to conform to someone telling me, hey, you have to be at work on a Monday.
Yeah.
Like, that's like my biggest pet peeve nowadays. That's what I want to get out of. Overseas, I feel like they have the ability, and maybe they have more people to see that are doing that. They're running businesses, that are being able to do more with their life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of digital nomads where I was.
Yeah.
Like, those people that just work from
From
anywhere in the
wherever,
world.
like
Yeah.
I think
coffee
you
shop
obviously
in
had to
Cuba.
step back. You had to step back starting in South Africa.
Yeah.
But all the people that have done those sort of things have obviously gone overseas and, were able to get those jobs overseas.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So let's talk about women, because we are 3 boys in here. And it might...
Yeah, it's gonna ruffle some
No, maybe. But it might be a bit
Educate.
biased as well, because there's 3 guys. Like, we
I-
might
I
have
think-
biased opinions.
I
The
think,
male
I think,
perspective at least.
I think we'll give fair.
I think
yeah.
I'm very objective.
I'm very
I'm
objective.
very fair.
Fair,
yeah.
but it's going to be a very male
No,
opinion.
male-sided. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for sure.
but obviously it's not going to be like a biased sexist opinion, but it's
No.
going to be a biased objective male opinion.
Yeah.
Just disclaimers.
Yeah, just disclaimers.
Here the T's and C's.
Okay, so would you guys ever think about being in a relationship with like an OnlyFans girl? A chick that's got OnlyFans and like
I
got
wouldn't. No, that's a
10,000
direct-
oaks
I wouldn't. No,
subscribing.
I wouldn't.
You know what? In my first thought, like, was yes, I would if she was not like actively messaging the guys. And then when I thought about it again, I was like, damn. Now when we have a kid, in the back of my mind, shit, your mom was busy posting naked. I think there's levels to it. I feel like if she's like completely naked, then no. It depends what her OnlyFans is.
Feet.
Come on, bro. Like, that's fine, girl. I'll take the photos, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, feet. I think.
Yeah,
I don't
feet-
know. I don't know.
feet's different.
I
I don't
come
know.
from a very conservative background, so for me, it's like it's a.
It's a no-go for you.
for me. Yeah.
Me as
Yeah.
well, to be honest. I don't think I would.
It'll go completely against my value system.
Definitely no for an OnlyFans girl. But that's because her morals don't align with mine
100%. That's
in
me.
terms of, because it's, for me, OnlyFans is the same as, let's say, dealing drugs. Whereas it's a less moral way to get money. And it's like I wouldn't say easier, because it's difficult to be
Nah,
a
it's
drug
not-
dealer. It's difficult to be a drug dealer.
Like, some hands have been naked for 2 years and it's just not happening.
Yeah,
bro.
like
You know?
it's the same. It's like
Yeah, actually, you know,
Taking
you can't
something
compare,
that-
'cause
it's
drug,
like the
drug
easy-
dealing is difficult.
Yeah,
drug
drug
dealing
dealing
is
Taking
stuff.
naked pictures is not that.
I don't think you can compare it.
But-
I think
But
drug
I
dealing
get
in
what
of
you're
itself,
saying.
yeah.
I get what you're saying.
But
100%.
selling weed to a stoner is very easy.
Facts. Yeah.
If your pricing is competitive, it's pretty
100%.
easy.
He's right there.
But like, for me, it's just taking the easy way out to get money. Because if you got a good body, you're an attractive lady that gets attention, it's easy to just make tons of money that way. And for me, I don't know. I just see it as
So for me, I just remember this video. This guy, Costello. Yeah, I'll show it to you, dude. So they asked him this question, and he's like, obviously can't say the full thing, but he's
Yeah,
like,
don't say
yeah.
still like-
he was basically like, you want to see my wife's? People are seeing my wife's thing for $5, and I mean, that's exactly it, bro. It's like, how much is it OnlyFans? Like $1, $2.
Yeah.
You're buying your wife a house, bro. Meanwhile, other gents have seen it for like $1.
Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah,
It's a very
tough. It's
sexist way to
also
look at it.
like, okay,
Yeah.
morals and stuff aside, it's also, if we are in a relationship, my body's hers, her body's mine, not in like the possessive way, but in the sense that like we're kind of loyal to each other. Other people can't just be seeing you naked.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's for me, that's where I draw the line is for example, I wouldn't get mad at my partner. Say, for example, I'm dating a chick that's competing. For me, I can't get mad at her for showing the same skin that she would show on stage.
Fair. But if it's in a sexual nature,
Like, if she's in lingerie and she's posting photos, if that's already going on the gram and she's selling it on OnlyFans as well, for me, it's no different. If you're showing nipples, if you're showing like coochie and everything, absolute no.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely
comes to value. Like, I personally wouldn't date. I mean, it wouldn't be my ideal girl today. You never know what can happen. But I wouldn't date a girl that's posting like in lingerie and stuff. Imagine I'm at work, and I mean, this happens, bro.
what
Like,
if let's say she stops when you start dating? Like, if she's like, I did do this, but now we're in a relationship. I understand the sanctity of our like mutual agreement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
I wouldn't want to force someone because comes.
But
back
if
to
she
the same-
came to you and she's like, I don't need to do this anymore.
oh, okay.
I want to stop for you, not you asking her.
So I wouldn't date. I still wouldn't.
You wouldn't have
I
started.
wouldn't start dating someone like that. But that's just me. I wouldn't. That wouldn't be my first choice. Again, I come from a conservative background.
Yeah.
So it's
But
just,
that's also the thing. Like, what you like what I like, what Veli likes. It
It's very
doesn't matter
different.
what's different.
Doesn't matter.
Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what we like. Like, let the person like what they like.
But
Exactly.
then again, for me, I'm also just being completely and utterly objective. You know what I mean? For me, it's just like if the same photos are going on the gram,
I get where he's coming from. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
if you, yeah, I get
for me,
it.
it's like it's also a thing of like if she's in lingerie, and I don't know. I like women that have confidence in themselves and confidence within their bodies because I've been with someone that isn't, and I understand how draining that
Let me just
is.
say one thing. You don't have to post lingerie to be confident in your body.
No, you don't. No, you
don't
don't
have to do that.
No,
That
I'm not
also
saying-
sometimes could be a compensation.
That's
It
usually a
could be. No,
compensation.
it could be.
How many fitness goals do we know that cheat? Like,
Shit.
bro, everyone just cheating. Like, it's I don't know what it is, but it's like there's some relation there. And most of the girls I've met that post that, it's a dopamine effect. Like, I think how many DMs these girls
Get
get,
the
bro.
validation.
No, for sure. The
Bro,
validation,
big
no,
time. Like,
100%.
it's massive.
No, I
But
understand.
we
I think
all
that's the
feel
other side of
the
my
same.
Yeah,
We
we
all-
just-
Yeah, we also do. Hey, you.
This guy just posted today as well.
King thirst trap for me.
All of us are the same, I think.
Yeah,
It's
we're
like
all the same, bro. But for me, it's like it's
it's a tough
I
subject.
don't know. It is a tough subject, but I feel like what you said now is the other side of the coin that I was mentioning. I feel like there's always two sides or different
different.
sides of it. Like as you said, it could be overcompensating. For me, if I know the person and you know
Yeah.
the person, and for me, it's like, dude, do your shit, flaunt your shit. That's your body. You know what I mean? For me, I don't know. I feel like women are at their happiest when you allow them to be who they are.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Like, this comes back to what I said. I wouldn't date someone like that.
Yes, no,
So
for
for
sure.
me,
That's
I
your
would
preference.
Yeah,
though.
so for me,
No,
like,
it's your
so
for
like I wouldn't
sure.
even force a girl. Like, I wouldn't be dealing with that girl in the
In the
first
first place, no,
Like,
100%.
I mean, I wouldn't say I would hook up with someone like that, but I wouldn't date long term someone like that. It's just my value system.
do you
like, there's
have
6
less
billion
respect?
people. There's 6 billion people in the world. Like, date who you like.
eight,
If you want
yeah.
to date a girl in lingerie, date her.
Yeah, no,
Like, don't have to
100%.
force. Because like I've had people who are my friends. Like, there's one guy, and then his girlfriend doesn't like the way he'll dress or like him having muscles. The weirdest, bit weird.
So like a tight shirt showing his
Yeah,
arms or
she doesn't
whatever.
like all that. And then the discussion we had is that she knew who she was dating before they got into a relationship. It's exactly that. Like, there's 6
100%.
billion people. If you don't like what they're doing, don't date
Don't-
them.
yeah.
It goes
Don't-
back to
don't
the
change
maybe the
them.
settling thing
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Don't change them.
Don't
Don't
change
make your
them.
life harder. Don't make their life harder. They are who they are.
100%.
Now
I
you
don't
have two
like that
unhappy
though.
people.
I also don't like that because it's like you met this person that way.
Exactly.
You fell in love with them that way. Okay, you were first
Exactly.
attracted to them that way. You then fell in love with them that way. Now you've got them. You want to change them to the way you want them to be. I think that's bullshit. And I know a lot of Huns are doing that to guys as well.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I mean?
both
I'm not
ways.
saying it's both ways. It's both ways.
both
But I feel like
ways.
in our circle, I think we've seen it quite a bit where the woman changes the guy.
And that's the irony in it is, it's usually the woman changing the guy.
That is true.
Like, big up to women for the power to be able to
No
do
cap.
that.
we
no
all
cap.
know how they're doing
we
it.
know
Yeah.
we all know how they do it, but you can't help it.
And
Just too late.
that's the thing where do you draw the line? Because when you're getting the action that you want, when you're getting the food made for you, when you're getting all these things that, she's kind of just looking after you, looking after every need, then it's like, well, I don't mind if she tells me I can't wear a tight shirt.
Bro, you
I'm
just
getting
described
food, I'm getting
this one
this.
guy so well. Like, literally just said, it's like literally that.
But that's what happens with
That-
a lot of men.
To
Yeah.
answer your question, I think who you are at your core, as I said before, has to remain at your core. So, as I said, a lot of things can change around who you are, but the main values, the principles that you live by and abide by have to remain the same. You can't change that for anyone else.
But exactly. And that roots back to our original idea of you need to be happy by yourself. Because if you're trying to change that person, you're unhappy. If you don't want him to wear tight shirts, that's because you're insecure.
Yeah.
Like, that's the issue there.
That's the
You're
insecurity.
insecure.
You're insecure
So you're
'cause-
trying to control him so that, maybe he feels like, you need him. So then and that's also a big thing. I don't know if you guys have experienced that in relationships. I haven't really in adult relationships, but it was also that feeling and, being like feeling bad for the person. Where it's
In what way?
Like
Like-
almost they need you. You can see how much they need you. So that you almost feel too bad to like argue with them, or you feel like it's almost like they kind of guilt trip you into being nice.
Do you find that you guilt trip yourself though?
I could
that's
definitely be
Could be like a
thinking like
people-pleasing.
maybe,
Yeah.
you know, is she unhappy? Is she not? Is she this? And it's trying to people please. So it could also be the people pleasing
So
aspect.
it could have been yourself. Because for me, I know my mouth is too big to shut up. I can't. If I'm thinking something and I really feel that way, I'm gonna say it, no matter who it is, no matter how it is. Like, you know, I'm not the type of person to hold myself back and almost like live like I'm on eggshells, basically. You know, that's the word. I think as a dude, that's like I've been in a relationship like that where I was.
I think I've been through that as well. I think most.
I mean, it's just a learning curve that you
is a
kind of need
learning
to go through and then understand, okay, well, this is how I was then. Maybe it wasn't anything she did. Maybe it was something she did. But a large of the things is also me.
Yeah, it's coming from within. Yeah,
You know, and I think that's also, fortunately, as you grow up and as the relationships begin and fail or whatever, you learn, like in the moment, maybe you don't think you're that in the wrong. Then afterwards, you actually start to think back. You're like, okay, that wasn't that cool that I did that, or that was like that was insecure, or this was that, and you get a better understanding of yourself. So the next relationship, hopefully, you can just do a bit better.
Oh yeah, I hope, but then you always like wonder like to yourself, if I'm in that situation again, will I? You know, like maybe that comes with maturity.
that's
I don't know.
maturity. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you've like constant like a feedback. You're constantly trying to improve yourself. And it's like
100%.
it's almost like you're practicing, you're learning, you're learning.
Because
Do
for
you
me,
think-
the other side of that coin is also like maybe you've had a go at her or whatever, and you're like,
What's wrong?
I was completely right when I did that. Or
Yeah.
I was completely right when I said that. And that's okay for me to say that. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's also like the other side where it's like that
I
self-feedback.
find that tough though, is always just assuming I'm the bad guy.
I do that. I do that as well.
I'll
I don't know if it's like
often-
an extreme ownership thing or something where
so
I'm trying to like.
I sometimes I think like, is it that extreme ownership,
Yeah,
or is
I'm
it
like
that I
that.
genuinely was the bad guy, or is it that she's trying to make me feel like the bad guy? There's so many things that I'm just like questioning. Like, am I the bad guy? Am I just trying to take ownership for anything that goes wrong? Is it her? And like, there's just so many things to juggle. But with the right girl, you obviously just get through it.
Yeah,
No, for sure. No,
I mean, I think it's
always
also overthink. I overthink sometimes.
Yeah.
That's what has happened to me. Like
It's definitely a male thing,
Yeah.
overthinking in relationships.
and then
think-
that's
I
why
think
now I've learned
females
just to
can
like,
also overthink.
that's what
Yeah.
But now there's like just let go. Like I realize like in life some things like 'cause I'm like that. Like I'm trying to control everything or like trying to
Yeah.
like at least have everything in a certain place, and that was happening. And I was like, you know what, dude, I can't. Like,
is
just
what
let
it
go.
is.
It is what it is.
like that person.
Your
is that
thoughts
person.
of your thoughts of me in the situation was it is what it is. I can self-evaluate and see, you know, did I handle it correctly? If I didn't, I must improve on it.
Yeah. No,
That's
for
it.
sure.
What do you guys think of the dating scene?
As you know, this podcast is sponsored by Dis-Chem Living Fit, with a wide range of fitness and health products tailored to whatever goal you may have, whatever part in your fitness journey you may be. Dis-Chem Living Fit has the products for you.
The dating pool needs HTH.
HGH.
It's dirty. It's dirty.
Is that dirty?
In what way?
I always want to hear this.
Bro, I feel like as we said, disclaimer from a guy's perspective.
HTH.
What's that, Blue 52?
Blue 52.
That was a deep one.
I just feel like, especially with women around our age, I mean, we're all around the same age. I don't know. I feel like the vision, like the vision of the future is not the same. Like, I think girls now are more focused on guys with obviously money.
Oh yeah.
Like their core values and principles that they had growing up are completely gone now.
So it's
Everything-
almost looking for someone with money, so it almost kickstarts so that they don't have to do the work.
Exactly,
Huge.
and it's always about who's got the bottles in the club, you know, what else, what car you're driving, you know, what shoes you're wearing, what clothes are you wearing, you know what I mean? And I feel like as gens, it puts so much more. As gens, we've grown up to provide. Now all of a sudden we have to be at this level to even think about approaching this girl or that girl. you
Dude,
know?
like for me, it was the weirdest thing because I'm sure you guys are the same. My parents didn't come from money. Like my mom married my dad. He was broke.
Yeah.
So like for me, I was taught like if you love someone, you love someone.
Yeah.
Now I'm entering this manhood, and I'm realizing, oh shit, it's not like that.
It's not like that.
It's like, yo, you got to have the money now. Like you got to have that Ferrari, you got to have this, you got to have
Now.
that.
And it's
That's like your qualifying criteria.
Yeah.
It's not well, these it's not like this for every girl, but in my workspace, and I mean, I've seen how people are, what they saying. I'm like, sure, like
How old are they? Same age.
they're like 30, 31.
Early 30s.
But for
Yeah.
me, if a girl says like, "Oh, you drive a Toyota," I'll be like, "Bye."
I'm like that.
Like if a chick,
Oh, you don't have an iPhone? Ugh.
yeah, like if a girl says that,
If somebody told me that, I'll be like, yo, what?
I'll be like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, bro.
like it's the same as a guy's going to a girl and being like, "You don't have this size boobs."
Yeah.
Then she has just as much
where's your
ability.
BBL?
Yeah, like she'll say, "Well, cheers." There's a million other guys, and we can say the same thing. Is like, I don't want the girl that's only looking for money, or I don't want the girl that's only looking for the job title or the ability to get into a club. Like, if that's you, bye.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like, for me, it's also like the value. Like, if a woman's valuing money, bro, you're never gonna be the richest gen. Like,
Dude, there's
it's
always
like,
someone richer than you.
imagine now you go to Dubai, bro. There's like those guys have different money there.
It's
dude.
different type of
Like
money.
now you got to compete to that because she's valuing money. For her, it's not your looks, it's not your value system. It's just money. So you're always at a losing game.
Yeah.
That's why I can't understand gents that use money to get girls.
To get women.
I never grew up in that.
I could never do that.
So like
bro.
I can never understand it. I just feel sorry for them because I'm like, at the end of the day, like you're never gonna have enough. I don't mean it in a rude way. It's just like you're never gonna have enough money.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't have good values and stuff, and you need money to compensate for that and to get women, then
I would be offended.
Yeah, I would also be
Like,
offended.
if she makes it clear that she's only there for the money, I would be very offended. I'd be like,
100%. Now, that's
question my life.
that's
bro.
such
Yeah, you need
a
to question who you are as a
materialistic
gent.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd question
But sometimes
something.
you can question yourself. But if you know yourself, you can understand that that's just simply the wrong person. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, just the wrong person. You know what I mean? It's a gold digger at the end of the day.
So the dating scene now is tough.
What do you think? What your guys' experiences of the dating scene?
Bro, what dating scene?
What?
Like, there's no dating scene.
You have you been like you've been keeping to yourself? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Obviously, dating. Like, if we just look at where we would see where are we the most? We're at the gym
Fair enough.
or at work, obviously.
Or
but-
running.
But I'm not gonna say. So you're at gym, right? In today's climate, you can't really approach a girl. So the gym is almost out. Like, yes, if she's making
will say
tons of eye
there's one guy that's
contact-
good at it. It's this guy. No, I mean, in the most complimentary way, I can say. Yeah, in the most complimentary way. Like, I personally can't. Like, I've tried, and it's tough, bro. I don't know about you.
I don't try.
Like in the gym.
Dude, I have to have like major like eye contact or something. Then I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's tough.
No,
bro,
I think
to
it's
go
the same
out.
for everyone. I feel
Is
like
it?
for me, it's like I'm not gonna just approach
Oh,
off the
You're gonna
bat,
feel
off
the
cuff.
vibe.
Feel vibe,
Yeah,
yeah.
I must at least get a look or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It can't be just off the cuff. Like, hey, what's up, baby girl?
If you said it like that, bro, you might win.
You might win. You
never
might.
know.
But like for me, it's I can't do that. I need to probably have seen her like maybe throughout the weeks, and now you guys are training at the same time and everything. Then I'll be like, all right, cool. You
The
know.
other thing is how many girls gym nowadays, bro. It's like I feel like when I was younger, I used to see more girls at the gym.
Have you not been to Honeydew and seen all the 16 and 17-year-olds in the
Dude,
afternoon?
I try to avoid that gym in the afternoon. It's too busy. Eh?
don't
You-
know.
Bro,
Yeah.
it'll change your perspective on girls aren't training anymore. I've never seen so many teenage girls
Are you serious?
at
eh?
gym. And it's also
What
with
about
the
girls?
teenage boys. They're the very annoying people.
Just dude,
With their earrings and their
posing.
15 of them, 15 of them
posing.
by the bench.
There's one.
We
cable.
sound like such old people complaining about the youth.
No, but
It's like it's the
bro,
truth.
when we were
though.
growing
It's
up,
so
we weren't
bad.
like that.
We
bro.
know, dude.
We
I was so
we-
scared of people, bro.
I was. first
I
of
was
all,
like, I was so
yeah.
respectful. These guys were like, you'd be training. This guy will come and pose in front of you. I'm like, bro,
Dude, like, bro, what-
I don't care what you look like or whatever, but like, there's like a bathroom, there's a posing room there. There's something you can do it to your own bathroom and pose. You don't have to pose in front of me.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
Yo,
just
we
very
at least
weird.
waited until we were at a varsity gym
Yes.
to pose and stuff. I remember being in school, and these old men, I would never like lift up my sleeve or
Dude.
whatever and flex my tricep in the mirror when I'm a 16-year-old kid.
I was so scared of doing that, bro. Like,
Dude.
legit. Even I did like posing with my coach, but I still felt uncomfortable. I was like, yo, Everyone's like staring at me and stuff. I feel like I was that guy. You know, that people were like, oh, this guy.
Now
Nowadays,
we're
no one
different.
cares. But I think it's a whole society. Like Chris Bums did.
I think it's just the social media.
Sam
aspect.
Because
So,
we were. I mean, when you started competing, bro, like bodybuilding wasn't really an Instagram thing. Like you started competing before it became cool to compete.
Yeah, you like Jess is like you both are like the OGs of it.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I started. You were actually my first coach. Man.
Yeah,
Think
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
I lent
you
you
guys
those
like the
posing
first wave.
trunks.
Yes, I still have that.
You guys are like the first wave, bro. Like I remember so
No,
far.
but Jesse was the first as a pro as well. Jeez.
Yeah.
And I remember you got sponsored by
Evox.
Evox,
Evox.
yeah.
I remember that. Yes, those. I feel like
That's the
that
days.
era of
It was
like
the
training.
golden South African
That was like
bodybuilding
the
era.
golden era. 'Cause
It was. It
you
really
look at
was.
competing now.
Even the guys conditioning there.
I mean, bro, WBFF.
How
When
it
I
used to be so
competed at
conditioned.
WBFF, there was first how many people on stage now? At your average, okay, let's say a national show, like a pro qualifier
pro qualifier.
on the classic stage, classic physique.
Classic physique, I think across the four height categories.
It's not a lot.
It's not much. I mean,
Like, would
there's
you say 50 out of the four?
not even 50,
even,
like
dude.
maybe 30.
With WBFF,
Remember that?
2015, we had 67 guys on stage doing fitness model. Then there was like 40 doing muscle.
Yeah.
But
I
67
remember I was
guys
there at
on
that year.
stage.
And you won, bro. That's a big
And you
achievement,
won.
dude.
No,
You're
but
like
that
freaking
was
19
that
or
was
something.
no,
And
that
you're
was-
19. And you're
I think one
19,
is
bro.
like-
Dog.
That
You're
was
busy
like-
hyping the boy up. Yeah, but it's the truth. It's the
He was-
truth,
yeah,
though. It's the
The
truth. Like,
conditioning also, bro. I remember our condition. Even you were at those shows. Even those other guys, Francis, all those
oh
J's.
yeah, Francois
it's like-
Bayer. Yeah,
Dude, like now there's conditioning is nowhere near. I mean,
but there are more
some.
shows now.
That's the thing.
there's
And more
much
federations
shows.
as well.
It's
a lot
grown.
more federations.
The bodybuilding
Everyone's just jumping between.
bodybuilding as a quantity, like if you're looking at it, quantity wise has grown, but I think quality wise has absolutely decreased.
Yeah, it's almost
the quality of the
better.
shows
Yeah.
has decreased. Like
Going from the Hilton Hotel to the Civic Theatre in Ramburg.
that's even worse. No, what's that thing? Walter Sisulu. What?
That's
like,
what I think you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
that
Civic.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Ramburg
mean, come on. And for me to have a show there every time, come on. Let's
think
change
it also
it up a
gets-
little
You're
bit.
sharing the parking with the guys playing indoor soccer.
Oh yeah. Literally.
You know what I
literally,
mean?
literally.
And this
You
is supposed to be a
literally are. I did it
venue
last time.
for a pro qualifier. I mean, I feel like if Jim Mannion had to come here and check this, he'd be like, "Aye, guys, come on."
Yeah.
Like,
shout
nah.
out to NPC.
Yeah, nah, shout out to
And then
NBC,
some of
though.
those guys playing soccer are more shredded than the guys on stage.
Dude, facts.
Sure.
Facts, bro.
I'm joking. I haven't seen lately.
No, you're not lying.
You're not-
bro.
I'm
You're
not-
not
dude,
lying.
you're not
It's
lying,
become
bro.
so glamorized though.
But you remember, like shows used to run on time. Things.
Yeah.
I remember. I think things changed a lot after COVID, because now it's like we had prejudging. Remember, we had prejudging and in the main show, and now I feel like federations are just trying to make more money
As quick as possible.
as quick as possible by
contestants.
keeping with these sessions. And it's like overseas they've reverted back to prejudging main show, but in this country, why haven't we reverted back? And it's like we're still a third world country, yet we're doing things as if people have the money
Yeah.
to pay for that. So, I mean, for me, it's like what I was at the NPC show before, and it's like $300 for a session.
It's a festival, bro.
That's a festival, dog. Like that's a festival with
That's a dinner for
dude,
one. Almost
dude,
one and a half.
$300 just sit and watch your mate.
And the entrance fee. And then because there's live judging, you're on stage for half the amount of time.
Dude, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like the actual entertainment side of bodybuilding in this country has, I feel like, dipped so hard. Because I remember I used to just go to shows and just watch the main show.
Yeah.
Pay like $150, $200,
Yeah.
and you watch the full thing. You know what I mean? Nowadays, it's like live judging and like, as you said, $300, $350, and then you watch your boy, and then that's it. And then the session's done. You gotta leave.
go. Yeah.
You know,
They're making like 300 Rand a session every 2 hours or whatever. There's another $300 group coming in.
Backstage is like $1,000 Rand or something.
Yeah, like a
ridiculous,
back-
dude. I
how
look
much
at
is
them
a
like, I don't
backstage
wanna pay
pass?
that. Unless
And
I'm
then
coaching,
what
like,
is
squatty.
backstage? There's not even weights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, bro. These
Yeah,
guys are making a
the
lot of money out
quality.
of it.
And then you have to use their tan,
Oh
which
yeah.
isn't a great tan.
Yeah.
It's like another 1.5 or whatever it is.
I don't think you
can't
can't even
even
deselect. I remember when I registered last year, you can't even deselect the tab. So it's like you have to pay for it, and if you show up, you show up. If you don't, the money's still paid. You know what I mean? So, and you know what? I'm not trying to knock or anything. I think we're just speaking the truth, and it's facts. we both competed at that first NPC Muscle
Oh, that
Initiative
one was nice.
in
though.
2018
That
at
was
the
a
Dome.
nice one. No, that was
That
sick.
was such a dope ass
They had a
show.
whole weight room.
They had a whole weight
That was
room.
sick. That was
That
sick.
was such that was such a
That was
nice
very dope.
experience. It was such a nice bodybuilding experience.
Yeah.
And I feel like the experience as athletes has I don't know if it's even about the athletes anymore. I think it's about the money,
Yeah.
I guess, at the end of the day. And I feel like the people that should be taken care of are the people that are making you the money, which are the athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like
It's almost like you paying them, and then they feel like they're doing you a favor.
100%.
I think they view it that way.
It's like
Yeah, they
They
view
do.
it that
They
way.
really view it. They
They
believe they're
is,
doing
yeah,
you a
they
favor.
actually do. I feel like from what I've seen, I feel like they do view it that way. I mean, I was at the show and a guy, a friend of mine, I'm not going to mention his name, but he came out and he was like, geez, I feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, why? He's like, they literally like, they forcing people to leave for the next session. Like he's just said I had as a spectator. I mean, to like, I don't know.
This isn't school.
Like, it's not school. It's
Yeah.
like they were
Yeah.
apparently, he was like, geez, I just really, really felt uncomfortable. That's not really, it wasn't a nice experience to be told, okay, it's time to leave. You know what I mean? Yes, I don't know.
It's okay.
I don't know. As a spectator as well, if they also like complaining about it,
And then you're paying an arm and a leg for a 45-minute, 10-minute time on stage, actually, because you're coming to watch one person, they're on stage for 10 minutes.
you know what I mean? Yeah, I think that the quality of bodybuilding has diminished. I feel like also with that show, with the 2018 show, you feel like you're getting money. I mean, you're getting value for the money you've paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Back to that dating scene question. I'm just thinking, because you made a good point. Where do you meet people in Joburg? It's
Bro,
like,
and that's also tough for social media because
It's
also
like-
now
I
girls are
basically
getting
have
a
to rely on
million.
social media nowadays, or if I go out, that's the next best thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, even going out, like,
Even
you know,
going out, yeah.
it's so
Because
many
there's
ways,
a
dude.
million guys that approached her before you.
Bro,
or-
it's a beautiful girl. Like, how many guys would have approached her? By the
and she's
time
probably
you-
got a boyfriend.
Oh yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's the attention
It's
part
the
of
way,
it.
yeah.
I feel like girls nowadays really, really do love the attention way more than what they did.
It's
before.
tough dating in Joburg.
It's
bro.
tough, dude. It's
like
an
tough.
extreme
It's-
sport, bro. I feel like
It's like it's not like maybe Cape Town where you can go like walk on the beach or like do an activity or something. And then okay, cool, you're meeting people, you're mingling with people. Go to a wine farm, you probably meet people there. Joburg, you got to go out to like Saints or like Greenhouse, bro. I personally don't want to go.
Yeah,
out
there's no
Yeah.
beach to go chill and then
Yeah.
potentially see someone.
yeah, no, there's like nothing in Joburg.
Like-
Do you think it's more difficult for men or for women in, let's say, 2023 to
to meet
find,
people.
but not to meet people, but to find a quality partner?
I think definitely men. In
More
in South
difficult? Are
Africa,
you
I
saying
think
more
men.
difficult for men?
I think in Johannesburg, I think men. I do think men. From what I've seen, I just think it's like
I
it's,
agree.
I want
I
to use,
agree
I
with
want to use the economic term here. I'm not saying women are like, it's like a supply and demand. Like, it's like when you go overseas, there's like so many beautiful women. Here, there's a lot of beautiful women, but then they get so much attention from guys, and that gets to their head. And then the one thing I noticed was, and one of the guys made a very good analogy. He said, in other countries, women build personality around their looks. In South Africa, I found a lot of women building looks around their personality, meaning they only like rely on their looks.
Yeah,
Like, so I'm not saying all girls. I'm saying when I've chatted to some women, they have no depth.
yeah.
Sometimes
It's
I'm like,
all
I might as well
surface level.
go talk to my dog because I'd have a better conversation. I'm not being rude. Like, I'm being genuinely honest. It's because it's like Instagram. It's like all they want to do is wear Gucci, wear this, wear that. Now I sit there, I'm like, but what else is there to life, bro? Like, me personally, I couldn't care less about material stuff.
I
Like,
care less, man.
I'm sure you're the same. Like, quality
Yeah.
of life.
That
That's
stuff comes
also
and
why
goes.
it's very difficult to find the quality woman.
Yes.
You know, to find the girl that has the same values, the same morals as you, but equally so, I think for women to try find the man that suits, you know, a woman of high value
Yeah.
and high morals and not just looking for the money or not just looking for someone to buy her a bag. For them to find the man that's also willing to not go for all the other options.
Yeah.
Because if you do go
It's
out
filter.
and, you know, lots of people are drunk or whatever, it is easier to cross, you know,
meet
do the
people.
things that male and females or males and males, whatever, do with
Hook
each
up or
other.
whatever, yeah.
Hook up. The hookup culture, that's
easy.
not, like that kind of hookup culture is not really trying to find your partner.
Yeah. That's easy.
Like sometimes it might happen that way, of course.
I think it's a small chance of that.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine for someone that's like your long-term partner. I think both ends, as you said, it's difficult. I think like women almost have to like filter because a lot of guys also lie, bro. Like I've heard
Yeah.
stories of guys taking pictures in penthouses. You know, they're living in like a different apartments,
Yeah.
posting. I mean, no guys, even in personal spaces, they would like take pictures of cars, whatever. I mean, they're not even driving that car.
It's not even their car.
And
But I
it's
feel like that's also the thing. That's that pressure. It's like
It is.
I have to live up to this sort of standard and image for me to attract.
Like I personally wouldn't ever do
I
that.
wouldn't do that, but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to dive into
in
the
their
brain,
mindset, yeah.
into their mindset. I feel like, I mean, how do I put this? Yeah, if I had to dive into their mindset, I feel like they would want they'd want to be viewed in that image so that they can attract this type of girl that would go for a guy who's got the Ferrari,
And they
who's got the
probably would be
penthouse.
successful in that because they're imagining it and because they're truly trying to become that character. Obviously, the girl might find out eventually that maybe he doesn't have the money. But that's also what I've
the
been
truth
trying.
catches up.
Yeah, truth will catch up. And the truth always
catches
comes
up.
out.
Always comes out.
Always. And as men, when we've made mistakes, we've also realized this, is the truth always comes out. So that's why we've also tried to adopt the mannerism of that extreme ownership
Yeah.
and just being open and honest. And I think I don't know about you guys in your more recent relationships, but I find what I lacked was communication in previous relationships and just seeing the difference by just being more willing to open up, being more willing to express myself more. And, previously I might have been too scared to upset her by bringing up something that bothered me.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like unspoken expectations of future arguments or whatever the quote is. Like if you aren't open and voicing your opinion about a frustration or an expectation that you might have, it's your fault if there's a fight
100%.
about it later.
Yeah, 100%.
I think also with that
100%.
communication, Jez, I think with that communication comes comprehension. The way in which you say what you need to say also plays a major role, because sometimes what you said isn't that bad or that offensive, but the way you said it and the way it came across could be completely offensive. You know what I mean? And
100%.
and that's when the fight starts. And you'd be like, but this is me. And it's like, no, yes, it is you. And that's chilled. But the way you said it may have caused that argument.
Yeah, I think that honesty and that openness and that transparency shouldn't come from a place of, trying to get one over them.
Yes.
You should be open and honest with the girl because you just want to be vulnerable enough for her to see your true intentions or your true nature or whatever, not to try and, put one over her or get one up on her.
That's bro. Like you always hold it back. And then the argument comes up and then you say it and then it becomes that.
Yeah.
But even though it was something that was always building up. So I learned like when I have a problem, rather just voice it, have a mature conversation. And also I personally won't do it over phone. I find like you have to do it in person.
You have to do it in
arguments,
person.
your arguments with the phone I hate, bro.
Nah.
Yeah, it's tough to like read how they're saying.
Yeah,
the
it's so
sentence.
indirect, bro.
But also for me, it's also like, hey, there's a lot of people are just keyboard warriors as well. Eh?
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to clap back in the paragraphs there, and you just like read more and you clapping back. But in person, like it's not the same thing.
What kills me is when you're like, I don't know if you guys ever had this, but like you DM a hun and then you see her in person, the energy is too different, bro.
Bruh.
Have you ever had that? Like you DM a hun and then buys you, and then they see you in person and it's like a different energy. It's, like all of a sudden,
Or at least
hey Billy, and in your head you're like, but this, I was left on scene. Like,
You almost shook. Like,
you're like, wait,
you're talking to me. Like,
wait, where's that energy from? Am I reading the same messages?
But also, it's just
It happens so often.
it happens so often, man. Damn.
or they just could look like a completely different person.
Yeah.
That's 99% of the girls I've seen on social media.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
And you see them in real life. And then you look at them in real life and you're like, oh, that's that girl from Instagram.
Yeah, I feel like you've gotten that quite.
Yeah, 'cause you had
I
a lot
think
of guests. You had more guests.
You've had a lot
Yeah.
of guests.
You're more exposed to that.
These cameras don't have any filters on.
You've been more exposed to that industry, bro. But it's so true. Like some of the girls you look at, you're like, oh my god, is she real, bro? Like you look at it, is this from South Africa? Like what the hell? You see her in person, like
You're like,
But also, there's this, that Facetune app or whatever. Then half the girls start having the same face. So then you
Oh,
can see
yeah.
like, okay, well,
All
you're
the
using the
contours.
same app.
The contour.
The
bro.
contour,
Always the
filter,
contour.
yeah.
Slightly more animated eyes, and
Yeah.
they start to form this into the same person.
Yeah.
I think that's also destroying women, like in of itself. I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think like women are now needing the filters to feel confident in themselves, and it's like I think some women like who they are without the filters and stuff. But I feel like so many girls now also just rely on it.
It's like almost like they're living in it's like a digital. Like for me personally, I've tried to move away from DMing girls on Instagram, like just meeting people organically. It's cool to meet on Instagram. It's not the same thing. Like you meet someone, like I said, at a nightclub or you go out somewhere. It's like I don't know what you guys. It's so much better, bro. It's like
Oh yeah.
you get that feeling
It's
like
more real.
Yeah, it's more real.
And
You
a
get that
connection
feeling
that
like
you
the
get.
connection feels better, and you feel like that almost that
authentic.
universe type thing. Maybe this was
Yeah.
meant to be.
Yeah.
DMing is not the same. Like I saw you a couple of pictures. You met maybe what I found attractive, and yeah, it's just not the same thing.
I feel like organic is so much better.
Yeah.
But obviously, we've all been in relationships where we met the chick online. So,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it comes and goes. I think it's dependent.
It depends because
It
like there might
depends.
be one girl where you're like, I have to DM this girl. Like it's
Yes, yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
missing
yeah.
this opportunity
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'll never see her in my life.
You
Like,
waited for that story.
I mean, what are the odds? I mean, bro, we train at the same gym. How often do we actually bump into each other?
Baby.
Barely. So now imagine a
I
girl
stopped
that
training
you
there. So the fact that
Exactly,
you didn't even realize
exactly.
is proof
That's
of it.
facts,
So that's the thing, bro.
I
Like
think that-
the odds of me bumping into you are slim.
Yeah.
And now, what are the odds of me bumping into the girl I see on Instagram? The only way I'm going to ever communicate with
Is
her,
on
potentially
Instagram, yeah.
set up a date or whatever, is Instagram.
Yeah.
No,
We
facts.
still met so sort of organically. You saw her, she saw you.
Yeah.
Like, let me get
Yeah.
find that
I feel like it's that
Instagram.
thing like, oh, I like her story now. She's liking my
Yeah.
story. And it's
And
like,
that's the new thing. Eh? It's like the liking story thing.
Okay, let's go to that. Actually, first, I've got a test that I have with girls. Not a test, but it's an experiment.
okay.
A check.
A checklist,
So
that sort of, yeah.
let's say I'm chatting to a girl. I'll ask her, can I get a selfie without any makeup on? If the
You know
girl,
the thing is, he's more exposed to catfishes. So,
So
I
you- I
understand
feel-
where you're
I
coming
understand
from.
where you come-
I
Yeah.
haven't been as
if the
exposed.
girl,
Like a trauma.
if the girl can't send me a photo, if she can't send me a photo, it doesn't have to be sexy, whatever. It can be half a face. Like I'm not asking for anything sexual.
You just want to know what she
I
looks
just
like
want to
without-
see what you look like without makeup on, so that I can compare it to Instagram. Because and if you're not willing to do it, if you
Yeah.
aren't open to sending me a selfie without any makeup on, I'm sorry, but there's a problem. Because firstly, you maybe don't even look like any of the filters you put on Instagram, or secondly, you're not confident enough in yourself to be able to send a photo without Instagram. The biggest green flag in my checkbook is if we can go out to a shop. She doesn't have to put makeup on.
Oh, yeah.
If
You don't have to
if
wait.
if she
Yeah.
yes, she doesn't have to put makeup on. She's comfortable in herself to go in sweatpants and a pair of Crocs and a hoodie and go to the shops
Dude, that's
without
my
makeup
type.
on.
For me,
My
that's
type.
I
That's
don't
my
know.
type
Women
of
don't
woman.
realize that for me is the most attractive.
It's the
Like,
most
the
attractive.
sweatpants,
Dude,
like
the whole
hoodie.
dude, it's
like
so
that's my thing. I don't know. Now you're lying on my shoulder and I was full makeup on my shoulder, bro.
I'm
Like,
I'm
you know,
darker,
like-
bro. So it's like,
Yeah.
dude, now it's on my. Now we hugging.
I've literally
and
seen
now
it.
I've got baby powder on my face.
Dude, I'll literally see
Like-
we would go out, a girl hug this guy. This man looked like he ate a Nando's roll, bro. I'm like, hey, Vash, clean your face, bro. Clean your
Well,
face.
that's the thing. That's
I
why
just let you stand and he's like,
now you can see now you can see in public who's been kissing a chick when they
Yeah.
come back and then they're looking like they had Nando's.
Yeah, literally,
Literally,
bro.
bro.
Literally.
no, bro. I think that's such a nice quality to have. It doesn't have to. I'm not saying it has to be sweatpants. It could be tights or whatever.
Yo,
but
like,
like,
I don't
chill.
have to get
comfortable.
dressed.
Comfortable
Whatever
in
I was
skin.
chilling in, I'm
I can-
happy to stay in and go to the shops in.
For me, that's so attractive. I don't
Bro,
know, for
just
me,
be
that's
comfortable in your own
so
skin.
so attractive, bro. I think a woman that can do that, as I said, shows confidence in herself. She doesn't care about other people's opinion. Oh, I'm looking like shit. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna go to the shops. You know,
100%.
I don't know. For me, that's a girl that can say that and think that. Oh, dude. Oh,
And that's the thing. It's women might potentially confuse what men like as confidence.
Yeah.
A lady might think that confidence is the ability to dress up and go and own the club. Where for me, confidence is the ability for you in your sweatpants without makeup to go to the shop
Yeah, that's me.
and be comfortable in public, not having done yourself up. That for me is confidence.
I actually like if I see a girl dressed like that, I like so much that I don't always look back.
I was like,
Yeah, when a girl's like full makeup at the gym, I'm usually like, what do you like? I judge. Like, I don't mean to be a dick or whatever. I do judge. So I'm like, bro, you're at the gym. Why are you wearing so much makeup?
like full makeup,
Like, you're here to train. Like
matric
relax.
dance makeup.
Yeah. Like just train. I understand if you have pimples and stuff, but like, bro, it's fine. I have pimples. All of us have pimples. Bro. Like, we have shits every day to do. But
And that's the thing, some men wear makeup, but most men don't wear makeup 99% of the time. But men
to pull that
still
off,
are able to get women.
Yeah.
And women are naturally more beautiful than men. Their facial, obviously me being interested in a woman, I think that.
Yeah.
But usually women have a prettier face than a man, let's say, or more attractive face. So essentially men can still achieve a result in getting a partner without makeup. So women mustn't also think that they have to wear makeup to be
100%,
able
yeah.
to be successful in courting whatever relationship they want.
I recently heard that one chick, that relationship, I forgot her name, man.
Sadia.
She was saying,
The bias, she's very beautiful.
she's beautiful,
Austrian
but
too.
she speaks so much sense and
She's very
facts.
good.
She's so good.
very good.
And I think I remember her saying, an ugly
Did she
guy.
have that one podcast with Chris as well?
Yeah,
Is that
she
that
did
chick?
that. Yes.
And Mike Thurston.
Yeah.
She's hot.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
I think I remember her saying something like, a man can be ugly, but can still make himself attractive. So, for example, an ugly gent can be funny-ish, can be so funny, and a woman can become attracted to them. I feel like with women, like, if you don't disclaim,
Your perspective of attraction. Let's just say like,
your perspective.
But like, I don't know. I've been around like women that aren't attractive. Like even a person like it.
Yeah, of course, everyone has, bro.
I know what I mean. Is like what I mean is like, I was like even if like just saying like at work or something, someone I would say is not attractive. But the weird part is when you get comfortable with them, you start like
They
developing.
do
some
become
sort-
slightly more attractive.
Yeah, they do. Like when they have a personality, like oh shit, like you know this person's slightly more attractive. So I do get where people come from with that thing, but also. I don't know. For me, personality does carry a lot. Eh? Like I won't lie. Like
The
No, it
most.
for me, it's like the
That's
biggest
the thing.
now.
People always say it's so superficial to go for a partner based on attraction. But yes, initially it has to be
It has to be,
attraction.
yeah.
it has to
It
be.
has to
has
be
to
attraction.
be.
And then when they got a bad personality, you dip. If they got an
100%.
amazing personality, you stay. But yes, it did start on attraction because
100%, it has
I don't
to.
want to spend my life with someone who I physically don't. I know attraction fades, you know, the chemicals in your brain subside, whatever. But initially, of course, you're going to go on attraction.
100%.
No,
I
you
agree.
have to- I
100%
100% agree.
100%.
And
I'm
just
saying.
because I say I'm going on attraction, it doesn't mean the girl watching this, I won't find you attractive. Like my version of attraction
Different, too, man.
is different.
Everyone's
So
different.
my definition of attraction might be a 7 out of 10 looks wise. But when I see her walking more confidently in the shop without makeup on, she instantly becomes a 9.
Yeah.
So it's all of the little things that play together to make her, you know, boost up in the attraction
No, for
level.
sure.
Not 100% just like if you look at the girls at the gym,
Yeah.
out of the gym there might be a 6, but
yeah,
because
that's
but
the
because
shit
they're
happens.
working hard in the gym, you see them visually they're an 8.
It's also that thing of like, they're the only girls in the gym.
Yeah.
So like you naturally testosterone's up. I've experienced this. And like it's testosterone's up, and I look at this girl like, holy shit, she's attractive.
Yeah, but
bro.
meanwile,
like you know,
outside the
and
gym,
then
she
outside
fades
the gym,
away.
you're saying like, oh shit, never mind.
It's the cheerleader effect.
It's-
So
yeah.
what's a chili? I've never.
So a
one of
cheerleader
these
from
like this.
How I Met Your Mother. So like a group of cheerleaders, like long blonde hair, pom poms, short skirts. You're like, yo, these chicks are hot. Then you individualize them. You take them, look at one individually.
Oh, one
not
by
that
one.
hot. By herself, like in isolation,
In
in their
isolation.
own little vacuum, they might not be attractive, but because it's a bunch of girls, you know, in the situation that's classically
Yeah,
attractive, and I
100%.
find myself, I'll be cycling. And I'll be like, yo, this chick's hot. Look how hot she looks with her glasses on, her helmet, her tights, whatever. And because it's
always
a
when you do-
cheerleader
it's-
effect. She's
I have the
doing
same
something
thing,
that
like-
I find would be attractive in a girl to do.
Yeah.
Then you see her maybe get off the bike. Then you're like, okay, no, never mind. She's actually not that attractive.
I
Yeah.
wonder if it's also because like its testosterone's like risen during your activities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Because like even at
During
gym, like when
physical
you're training,
activity.
you're like thinking like, wow, holy shit, the things, all these thoughts go through your head. You
Yeah.
say outside like, nah, never mind, it's not the same. It's not
Yeah.
the same thing. What's your criteria though? Like, because you had a selfie thing, the checklist.
Oh, what?
Oh, yeah. So, like, how do you kind of what's the word? Like screen
Yo.
Screen
a
your
potential girl
potential
partner.
potential.
You know what the thing with me now is like I've moved so far away of like the looks and everything.
I'm like that as well.
And for me, it's all about my interaction and connection.
I'm like
The connection that I have with her. I don't know. That's why it was so difficult for me to. The first question you asked me a little bit earlier, I forgot what it was.
Your non-negotiables.
Non-negotiable.
My non-negotiables. Because for me, it's like I find happiness in a good connection with someone. You know what I mean? And sometimes you're non-negotiable. Not you can compromise on your non-negotiables just simply because of who this person is, how they treat you, and how happy you are with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Connections are so hard to come
It's
by,
so
dude.
hard to
At
come
least,
down.
I mean, as I get older, to
Yeah.
have that connection with someone.
That deep,
Like, it's so difficult. Like, you
And
have
it's
it with some-
special, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
so
know.
special.
I don't know how if you guys have had that deep connection with a chick where
You'll never lose it.
like
Never lose it, bro.
yes, maybe the relationships didn't work out, but you know you do cherish that relationship, which literally like it's your best friend, but it's so much more deeper than your
much
best
deeper.
friend.
Like when
the
you-
relationship you have with a girl and that friendship and that connection is and it's completely different to your best mate,
Yeah, no,
who's
for
obviously of the opposite gender, but that connection and that, like it's like the term ride or die is so perfect. Or it's like partner in crime, where it's literally like, you know, as a man, I am willing to get in a fight for you. I'll jump through that window for you. I'll do whatever I need to make sure that you're safe, that you're loved.
That you're okay.
And that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
we don't make the mistakes along the way, because we all have.
Yeah.
No.
But that deep
makes you human.
connection is what you want as a man with a girl.
Makes you human at the end of the day. I feel like if you don't allow yourself to feel that for someone, you're wasting your time, man.
Yeah, and we've also all been in that situation as men, I'm assuming, where we've been too proud to admit maybe how deeply we feel, or
Oh,
too
yeah.
proud
Yeah.
to be vulnerable
us.
enough
We
to connect.
I
It's
think
like a
as a
man
gen,
thing,
I think
bro.
it's a man thing. At some point
It's
in
like,
time,
yeah.
you definitely thought that. And I think that feeling comes first before realizing that, no, it's okay to show emotion. It's okay for me to tell her how I feel. And I feel like it comes down to the right chick, the right person wouldn't knock you for it. Then I feel like a girl will actually appreciate you opening up and not see that, oh, this guy's a wuss. What did I get myself?
Do you guys think, in closing, last question, do you think there's such a thing as soulmates?
I think there are soulmates.
Like, do you think there's one girl that was made for you?
No,
and
I
you'll
think there's
end up
many
with her?
girls.
I don't think there's one.
I think there's many girls.
I think there's
No, I mean like
No,
legit
yeah.
way. I'm saying it, but like it's sus. But I mean, it's like legit.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, legit
I think
girls,
there's
as
more.
in like potentially it could be someone in South Africa, it could be someone in
Yeah,
Dubai,
100%.
but not 5 girls at once.
Oh
5
no,
wives.
no, you can't, you
No.
can't do that. No, that's
for me.
bad.
For me, also, a soulmate doesn't have to be your partner. I feel like you can have a very good relationship and friendship with a girl, and it's like, oh, we get along, but it's like, I'll never fuck you. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's a
confused
difficult
me. Yeah,
thing
that
to
confused
understand. But I'm meaning like soulmates, like lover, wife.
Oh, like lover, wife.
I think what he's saying is you have to have some sexual intercourse or something.
You,
It's gotta be like
you
a
have to marry
relationship.
the
It's gotta
chick
be
and
like-
have, and
Oh,
have
so you're
children.
talking about the relationship?
Yeah,
sense.
he's talking about like,
Oh,
he's talking
I'm
about
like,
like
I'm like
you
being
thinking friendship, and
friendship.
shit.
Yeah, I'm
No,
thinking
I'm not
connection. I'm
expanding.
expanding the whole soulmate thing.
No, I'm not saying like you and your mate both try to grab the last donut and your hands
Yeah.
touched and you're like, I'm
See,
a fat
he's-
kid too, bro. And you had this like this connection.
Like, he's putting the perfect
actual-
romantic novel.
like
soulmates.
like your classic romance movie.
Soulmates.
Soulmates.
I don't think it's one.
I think it's
there's-
many.
I think
There's
I
many.
think it's a few. And I think like in the relationships where you experienced like I would do anything for this person, I feel like at that point in time, in your life, that was your soulmate. And everyone is in your life for a season
Or reason.
or a reason. You know what I mean? And at that point in time, for that reason, in that period of time, that was your soulmate. And then obviously time passes by, you move on, and I feel like
Could still be your soulmate.
It could
Circumstances just change as
Exactly.
well. And maybe you also change. Like, you know, when you're in a relationship when you're younger, You're not the same person to you are. Like I know, like a couple years ago, I'm two different people to them now.
Isn't that
Be the
cool
same.
though?
It's very
It's
cool.
so
Very
cool
cool.
to
It's
see
cool.
how we've
I
all
would not
grown.
want to be the same person for like 6, 7, like even 5 years from now. I want to hope to say my life changed completely. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not gymming anymore. Maybe I'm like doing running.
No,
or
bro,
doing
you
something
can't
else.
let the world not see those arms anymore. You got to
Dude,
train.
you know what I mean? I'm like a skinny.
We need we need to
never
see
know.
those arms at parents' evening, bro.
Yeah, no, we need those arms, bro.
Nah.
Just don't date the girl that tells you to not show them.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I
I've heard girls like, ew, what are those?
No, but yeah, I think there's a lot of soulmates out there.
Yeah.
And it's probably our jobs to like put ourselves out there to find them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like all of our parents, right? They could have found someone. Yeah, we wouldn't be around,
Yeah.
but they could have found someone who probably would have made them as happy as their wives or husbands did.
Or maybe even happier, bro.
Exactly.
And then that's the thing about a relationship. It's constant work, bro.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? I feel like so many people are just jumping. As soon as they're not getting what they want out of the relationship,
Yeah.
they move on. And it's like you realize with the older generation, with older people, not like our parents. Maybe I'm talking about grandparents and before. And it's like each time you hear about these people that have been together for 50, 60 years,
It's amazing.
it's like you have to keep on falling in love with the change that happens within that person.
I think that's the toughest part. For me, like I like scares me almost. I'm like,
It's one
like,
person, dog.
It's one person, but it's also like it's different. Like when you're single for so long, you're like so used to, okay, you know what, there's a situationship here, this person, like different people. Now to be with that person and work on yourself and be like, you know what, I'm stepping up here. And like trying to reignite that every couple of years, that's tough. Dude.
It's
I don't know
tough.
if people do
It's
it. It's a lot.
work.
And you have kids involved.
Yeah,
I have a lot of respect for people that have been in relationship for years.
yeah,
And that's what our generation is probably not going to be as good as as our parents and their parents before them. I think it's just because in our society it's just like, well, things are tough. Cheers.
Social media.
Yeah,
Social
it's
media, bro.
and that's also the bad thing about social media is you see all these people you're like, you know, I could have her, I could have him, I could have that person, I can have that. Then you think you've got all these options,
Cross.
and there's just so much out there that's visually there. And when you're in that relationship, you're like, no, I can get that. Then you get out of the relationship because it's easier to do that, and then you find yourself being like, it's not easy. That girl doesn't reply. That guy doesn't want to meet me for coffee. Whatever. It's not easy.
It's not
It's
actually
not
what
Like,
you seemed.
What's
what you
more
thought it would
difficult
be.
and more honorable would be to stay in the relationship and make it work. Because, as we said, love fades, but it can come back through constant effort. And you originally loved that person, so that if they essentially are still the same person that you fell in love with, work on it, work on the relationship,
Don't just give
and rekindle that love.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
for
that's
sure.
the one thing of
Obviously, if
social
it doesn't
media,
work
dude.
out, it doesn't work out. So
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
some things I'm not.
Yeah, it's not- it's
like
not-
you can't say to someone now, like, "Hey, it's
Outwork
toxic."
the bad
Outwork it.
relationship.
Like
Hey, dude, a lot of
sometimes
people
when
do
it's
that, though,
done,
eh?
it's done.
A lot
Like,
of people do that.
Let it go.
I think it will work if two people change completely. Like if you change completely and then you come back and you try again.
Yeah, if
Then
both
it's
people
different.
want to do the work and both people want it to work, then
will
obviously
work.
more
It's
chance.
Chris Rock's thing.
It will work.
Chris Rock's thing is like 2 people can move a couch easy. One
One
person,
person,
it's hard as shit.
But like that's still with
You know,
social media. It's just made everything so much. I don't know. For me personally, sometimes I want wish like social media wasn't around. I don't know about you
Low-key.
guys. Like low key, like so there'll be days where I'm like it's not even like I don't have any hate or any of that. Just like there was one day I'm like, what would it be like to live in the past where there was no social
Just
media?
letters, dog.
Yeah.
Just like you know, like
Just write a letter, man.
yeah, like I think I'm pretty sure we all 3 of us would probably be married by now if
Yeah.
there's no social media.
Yeah.
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 But also, maybe to the wrong goal. We don't know.
That's also true.
How many relationships that legit when they got married back in the day before social media were actually bad relationships you should have gotten into? It's the same as essentially, I think it's the same problem reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back in the day before social media, you found someone
And that was it.
and it was like, well, this is the only person I know. Let me get in a relationship with. And whereas today it's, this isn't the only person I know. Quite the opposite. There's a million people. No way I'm going to get in that relationship. And then you end up 40 and single, and because you thought there were so many options, and then you realize there actually wasn't.
Yeah,
Actually wasn't.
that's a nightmare,
and
bro.
you
Imagine
dropped,
that. I
and
don't
you
want
dropped
that.
you dropped the one person that was all about you.
Deep. Deep. That's
So let's
deep.
find that lady, guys.
Let's find it. I feel like we're all good, gents. I feel like at some
So we'll
point in
definitely
time,
We'll
find it.
definitely find
I
that.
think we'll definitely. I
find
think for me, it's
There's
just
6 billion. I don't know how many people there are. 6 billion people, whatever.
it's like 8 now. I think.
Is it 8? Eh?
Probably like 8 billion.
But that's if you buy. So
Oh, yeah.
half that if you're
no,
straight.
yeah, half, yeah.
Yeah,
half.
it's like what, like probably like 4 billion.
I'd
I think
say
there's
even-
more
And
women
then
than
maybe
men.
I'd say even
like
a third,
two,
bro.
and then half
Yeah.
of those are either married or under 18. So then, like, let's say there's 1.5 billion people.
It's a lot of people. Bro.
lesbian and gay people. You need to take
Okay,
that
so
That's
bro,
still small
there's
percent. That's still a small
250,000
percent.
people. And then in South Africa, you got
It's very
15
low,
ladies
bro.
that you can find.
There's literally like, I think there's like maybe like 10,
You can
12.
count. I was about to
13.
say
There's
you
five
can. I
each.
was about to
There's
say
five
you
each that
can
we have to
count them
rotate.
You
here,
can literally
dog.
count them, bro. That aren't in relationships. That fit
and
the
are for you.
criteria. That fit the
Yeah.
long-term thing. It's
As
easy
you
to
can
hook
count
up. It's
them
hard
here,
to find
bro.
that long-term one.
That
bro.
long-term one that you can really like vibe with and like
Yeah.
go through everything. Dude, you can count them here, bro.
I was thinking about the others, like, yo, it's tough out here, bro. It's tough out here. It's not
For the
easy.
genuine stuff, for the
Genuine stuff,
the
it's
guys
tough.
that want the
It's tough.
genuine connection, I feel like it's definitely much harder. People are so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say people in general, but like things have become so superficial.
Maybe
But
it's just also the girls that want the genuine thing that maybe we are looking have already found the guy. Maybe it
Fair
was the
enough,
first
yeah.
guy that came around,
Yeah.
but maybe they are just the ones already tied up.
yeah. Jeez.
But there's hope for us yet.
There's always hope, man.
It's
There's
to be
always hope.
continued.
To be
I think
continued.
maybe after this podcast, there's going to be even less girls.
That was just to keep declining, bro.
-3.
We're in the negatives. Oh well, that's life. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for coming.